House Senate Appropriations member, Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullin. Even if the government shuts down at midnight, Senator, you know what just will keep on going? Social Security, Medicare, the military, veterans benefits, border security, air traffic control. I should go on. Is every Republican going to stick to their guns, stick to their knitting, and not give in to these ridiculous demands made up by the Democrats, Senator?
Dagan, absolutely. This is a Schumer hysteria act, because Schumer knows that he can't afford to vote for this. And what I mean by that is, here you have a career politician who is more afraid of his reelection. Mind you, he's up for re-election this cycle, than he is doing what's right for the American people. This is what happens when you have a career politician. He is afraid of AOC over a clean CR. Now, what clean CR means, it's funding continuing resolution, meaning that nothing has changed. So this is the exact same funding bill, the CR, that he voted on exactly 1 year ago. This is the same funding bill that he voted on in December. This is the same funding bill that he voted in January. This is the same funding bill that he voted for in March. So nothing has changed other than President Trump is in office rather than Biden being in office. And so he can't move, even though what this does, what they're saying they want to do, is extend policy that gives millions of illegal aliens free health care, that gives subsidies to insurance companies for the Affordable Care Act, which was, by the way, the subsidies was put in place because of COVID pandemic, and it was put in place by the Democrats when? In 21. If they wanted to make this policy permanent, remember back then they controlled the White House, the Senate, and the House, and they could have made it permanent, but they sunsetted it. They purposely made it expire. And yet they're doing it because why? Remember, in 1996, Chuck Schumer was then Congressman Chuck Schumer. He went to the House floor and he railed against subsidies for illegal aliens. What's changed now is that he's scared of AOC. So there's no rational thinking where the Democrats are today, other than the fact because of Chuck Schumer's fear of AOC, he's willing to hold the American people hostage, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Now, Senator, what's interesting about this shutdown dynamic is when Republicans precipitate a government shutdown, at least their base generally is distrustful of the government. They don't love the government. Democrats are the party of government. They love the government. Yeah. And so when Republicans shut things down and there's a Democrat who's running the White House, you see all these scare tactics. Oh, Social Security checks aren't going to go out. The military won't be paid. The Trump administration is saying, nope, that's all going to be fine, but they can make life very, very unpleasant for core Democrat voters in the public sector, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly what Obama did in 2013. Because remember, when Congress goes into a shutdown, basically all the authority goes to the President of the United States, who gets to deem employees and federal employees essential or non-essential. He gets to make decisions financially when we're trying to work things out. In 2013, Obama shut it all down. He wanted to make it as painful as possible for the American people. The difference is we have a new leader that actually cares about the American people. That'd be President Trump. The White House has already said tomorrow, regardless of what happens at midnight tonight, all paychecks for the military are going to go out and they're going to be paid in full. On the 2nd, all federal employees are going to be paid in full. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid payments are not going to be affected. Remember, that's mandatory spending. We're dealing with discretionary spending. And then you got another issue that happens, though, in 2 weeks. If Chuck Schumer continues to force the American people to be held hostage because of his fear of a re-election, then what happens on the 15th, the 2-week pay period comes into place, and the military won't get paid because there won't be any money there. And on the 16th, federal employees won't get paid because there's no money there. This could all end if Chuck Schumer would just simply say, hey, I'm not going to vote for it, but I'll let my members that actually want to vote for it, because there's plenty that could. And there's some people out there, Guy, that says, well, Republicans, you control the government completely. Why can't you guys just do that? Well, because in the Senate, it requires 60 votes.
Right.
The House, it doesn't. The Senate, it does. And so we only have 53 Republicans. So we got to have at least 7 Democrats vote for us. And right now, the only person willing to do that is John Fetterman.
I'll just say, shut it down, Chuck and your ilk, because the Trump administration through DOGE has already identified several 100,000 people, 300,000 fewer federal employees who won't have jobs by the end of the year, and 45 additional programs that they want to get rid of, and they will be saying bye-bye. So many more jobs eliminated.
Well, Dagan, keep in mind when I said the authority goes to the President of the United States, he gets to deem essential and non-essential. And he said in 2017 when Schumer forced a shutdown at that point, and it was a Schumer shutdown, exactly what's happening now is another Schumer shutdown, he said if you're not deemed essential, then you're not needed in the federal government. Why would you be essential today and not tomorrow and think that taxpayers should pay you? So when the president starts deeming people essential and non-essential, the non-essential ones will start getting pink slips and say, you know, your services aren't needed anymore because, well, obviously the federal government doesn't think you're essential.
Good to see you, Senator Mark Wayne Mullin. You be well.
Thank you.
Enjoy this evening.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dagan.